Well, welcome back to Lucore Automotive Services. Today we're going on a road trip. We're going about 3.5 hours north in this old thing. This is a van that I've been the caretaker of for a customer. We don't use it much, but it hasn't been driven much recently, and I thought we need to burn some fuel through it. So I decided to take this 97,000 original mile Pleasure Way. It's the Pleasure Way van up to Michigan to grab an implement I just picked up. That's you AMC guys are gonna love. And it's something I didn't know existed until I found it, and I'm like, it's cool, and I kind of need the implement for doing some work. Pretty cool old van as far as old vans go. Should be a lot better ride than the F350 flatbed for the trip, but I'm going to save you the details of the trip, because nobody wants to listen to me talk on screen. So I'm going to get moving, and next thing you know, I will be picking up a piece of equipment that I have to do some work, because sometimes you're better off buying the equipment and moving on in life. And then when you're done with the equipment, you sell it. And then you're out like $0, hopefully. At least that's the plan. All right, let's go. 98,000 miles on the dot. Well, let's see if this old girl can get me to and from Michigan without an eventful trip. I like uneventful trips. It means I'm home in time for dinner. Let's get moving. Well, that was a pretty uneventful trip. 218 miles. And here's what I'm up here to retrieve. This is an AMC powered wood chipper. And first you're going to say, Rich, why are you buying a wood chipper? You work on cars. Well, you're right, I do. But I also share a property with my sister up north in Michigan, and we had a bunch of tree work done, and we got a whole bunch of trees yet we need to get rid of. And renting these things is really expensive. I ended up picking this one up a couple weeks ago, but I didn't want to drag it back because these tires are horrible, and I wasn't sure about the wheel bearings, so I decided to make a second trip to come back with a new set of tires, and that way I can check the bearings and make sure it's going to make the trip. Yes, it is a 304 V8, and I plan to get it fixed up and make it run good and use it, and then when I'm done using it, I'll put it up for sale and get my money back. Because sometimes that's how you get ahead in life. It takes time, but sometimes it's worth it. Other times it's just a big headache. I wonder how much the rotating mass in here weighs. Be interesting to find out, I suppose. Well, let me get my tools out. I'm going to jack up the trailer, check some stuff out, and hopefully I don't have to do too much work here. I can just stick some wheels and tires on it, drag it back home. I think I'll hook the Pinto up first. That way it doesn't get away from me. Got my safety flip-flops on today. It's a Saturday. Most of the day is going to be spent in the truck. What are the chances I bought the right wheel? That would be disappointing. Horrible. Doesn't sound like a rusted boat trailer bearing. That'll do. Not sure I'm going to even be able to see this thing behind the van. Guess I'll get home and it'll be a mystery if all the parts make it home with me. Hey, now we're getting some gap. So this machine allegedly was running 2 years ago when this fella bought his bigger unit, which his bigger unit's a 12-inch. This one, I believe, is a 6-inch capacity. And basically, if it fits, it chips on one of these, especially with a V8 power in it. Sounds good. A little extra free play in it than what it needs. Gotta get this cotter pin out of here. I always put my cotter pins in from the top. I just like that better. It's just there to hold the nut from spinning. Go. Oh, my bearings look good. Let's throw my other wheel on here. Alright, so that was pretty painless. I'm gonna finish loading this thing up and we're gonna head home where I can actually work on this thing. I'm not gonna waste my time out here in a parking lot in the middle of nowhere. I don't remember what the heck they called those things. Is that a VW kit car? What is this thing? Fiberglass kit car. All right. Yeah, that thing will kill you. It's like an 8-inch opening. It'll definitely do 6. That's a big chunk of steel. Let's strap my bits down and we'll get heading home. So I'm looking at that dump trailer and I see the old Ford. And I see another old Ford. Shaker hood. .351 car, missing a door. That a 69? Wow. It's pretty rusty, but she's fixable. .351 pedal assemblies are gone. It must have been a stick shift car. Red interior. Wow. Gotta love those long-nosed Mustangs. Fastback even. Well, not a fastback, but it's not a liftback. She's got some mud in that corner. Alright. Got some sticker tires. Loaded up. We got one chain on. I couldn't get the other chain on, but I don't think that Pintel's gonna break. And if it rips the trailer hitch off the truck, then I'm just gonna keep on driving. But I strapped this tank down. I don't think it's going anywhere. I strapped the chute. Got all the loose bits strapped in. Put my spare tires up on the front. Put a strap over those. I think we'll be in good shape. Time to head home. So this is the beast that he replaced that little chipper with. This thing's pretty hefty. It will really chew you up and spit you out. Double rollers. More bark out of Wynn, Michigan. We're here in Marshall, Michigan, really close to Battle Creek. Ooh, that's a John Deere powered diesel. Wow. J&S Tree Service, 269-964-1970. Nice fella, Joe Shepard. He's, I met him, talked with him. We made a deal a couple weeks ago, and now I'm up here to collect my $1,500 chipper, which, even though I got to pull the engine and do a bunch of work to it, I think that's a pretty good deal. Nice boom truck. Wow. Well, anyway, if you're in the Battle Creek, Michigan area, give Joe a call if you need some tree work. He'd be happy to take care of your timber needs. Man, I love driving in Michigan. It just feels like I'm in the middle of a forest. It's awesome up here. It's a beautiful day, a little warm. Not as warm as it was yesterday in Ohio, though. It was 97 yesterday in the shop. I think it's in the upper 80s today where I'm at, and I am on my way back to Columbus with my new toy in tow. So some AMC chipper shredder content coming your way. I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but that's what I'm going to be working on. And we'll see if we can't get this thing running and shredded and testing standing and making chips. Everybody likes chips. That sounds gnarly. Oh fuck, I lost a tire. That's not good. It apparently just fell off when I made the turn. Weird. Put those on better. Alright, well, I figured I'd stop off, check my straps. I realized I lost my tire the last time because I didn't flip the straps and say, that's not going anywhere. That's good. Lugs are holding tight. Hubs don't feel hot. All right. All made it home with me. That's amazing. Well, let's stick a battery in it and see what's what. I think it'll actually pop off pretty easy. New tires look like they're doing okay. 10,000 hours? Sorry, that's 1,000 hours. I doubt that's all this machine has on it. That's probably, if it's even still working. Little AMC 304. Yeah, I don't think it'll be too bad. Old Rural King battery. September probably 17. That one's probably done. Man, the mice are hungry up in Michigan. That's impressive. Three bolts takes off that whole panel. It's easy maintenance. Got the toe block up here. Yep, there's a grease point there. Bearings don't sound too bad. Got to be a grease point on that bearing as well, one would think. Standard bell housing, clutch engage, disengage. Looks like we're going to need to rewire it a little bit. This engine's been replaced. It's got heat tabs on the freeze plugs, so that's a remanufactured engine. So that tells me that this engine's been rebuilt at some point, or at least the cylinder heads have. They're a different color than the block. Maybe they had the heads replaced at some point. Well, that manifold's cracked in a couple places. Be interesting to know if those bolts will even come out of these. Yeah, we'll see. One of the plans for this is to pull this engine and possibly use the one that I'm going to be pulling out of Austin's AMX in this thing. Let me drop the battery in it. See if we can get this thing to roll over clean. Well, that sounds like an engine with a wiped out cam if I've ever heard one. New battery, clean terminals. Probably should clean up my terminals in here too. Maybe that'll happen next. What's it sound like with a good battery? With a brand new battery. It's still got that squeaky, which is probably wiped cam. It's definitely going to need a new air filter. Throw some fuel down its gullet. Let's pop the cap off real quick. Cap's brand new, rotor's brand new. chance is working. I'm gonna guess if those points are worn out. Look new though. Maybe they're just installed wrong. Well, they're loose. That's probably part of our problem. Our contact breaker isn't in horrible shape. I could probably clean it up with with some sandpaper. But I actually think I have a new set here, and I'll just switch them out. Oh, you're gonna fight me there, aren't you? That's lame. That's the whole reason they're slotted, so you can just slide them in and out. Alright, I doubt we're gonna get lucky with the points being at the right spot right off the bat. They are adjustable. Got a pretty good gap, probably a little too much gap. Let's see what it does. Cap should only go on, or your rotor should only go on one way. Cap goes with your window at the right spot. It should have an alignment tab. Wonder how much oil is in this, because I know I have an oil leak off of my oil pressure sender. Looks like somebody made a dipstick for it. At least it's showing on the stick now. That's something. Let's kick it in the guts, see what happens. Just thinking about it. Lost connectivity. Oh man. Oh, that's probably on my relay. Well, this is my start solenoid and it's pretty crusty. I'm going to go ahead and put a new start solenoid on it. And then figure out what we need to do from there, because that's what you do. You fix the parts that are broken. And right now the start solenoid is not working correctly. Let me switch that out. I'll be right back with you. Disconnect my battery for this one. This has connection after connection after connection, so I'm just going to cut all these connections out so that I know I have good terminals. I'll probably end up rewiring the thing entirely. Looks like it's only about 7 wires. That one's been poked. Got a ball of corrosion growing in it, so yeah, probably just rewire the whole thing. But I'm just trying to get it running right now. And as I'm doing that, I'm replacing the small parts that I have on hand, because then I don't have to do it later. A lot of people don't realize that these solenoids are case ground. Without a good ground path, they won't work correctly. I usually end up putting a jumper wire. I'll put a jumper wire up from the battery to the other side of this solenoid bolt. May not happen today, but that will end up happening as a redundant ground to make sure that this guy works correctly. That's one item that is often overlooked. Ouch. This piece is bolted on, so it's very possible that its ground path is compromised at this stage in the game. Oh, I forgot to put that guy on. I gotta put this guy on. Dummy. Up our battery, try that again. Oh. Ground path issues. I had it running. Here's my start signal. Oh, that's some ugly wiring up there. Starter connection bad. Very likely. Alright, so I'm hooked up. Went ahead and put my redundant ground on from the battery to this panel. And now, so that ground path was definitely an issue. If I hook it up. Alright, now we're back in business. Look at that. Whoa! So, our ground path over here is cooking. So I need to clean up our ground paths and probably do a ground path to the block instead of to the chassis, because it just tried to melt that little mini jumper wire. I don't know if the video caught the smoke coming out of that or not. I'll just add another battery cable from that mounting point up to the engine block. Grab that. I think that's about all I'm going to get to today. I ended up running my negative. I ended up re-crimping the negative here. I ended up putting a big wire ground from here to here, but I'm still smoking my small wire, which basically means my big negative wire is probably corroded inside. So I'm going to build a new negative wire for it, but at least it pops off. Now it doesn't pop off. So, no success today, no satisfaction. But I think I'm going to call it quits for now. I still don't think I did bad on it. I think it's going to end up being a pretty decent piece of equipment once I get it running right. I wonder. So that big cable definitely has an issue. Still smoking that little wire. That's crazy. I have redundant grounds to this panel, to the starter solenoid. I have to drop the starter off and clean all of its connections. Make sure it's getting a good ground path through the bell housing. Battery, that thing sure is cranking over slow. Alright, well, I'm gonna quit for today. Chalk 1 up for the chipper and 0 up for me. I do at least have it cranking, it's firing, it's popping off, it won't run. I probably need to adjust my points and get the cranking speed up. I do have a new starter here for it, so that's going to be the next step. I'm just going to put a known good new AC Delco starter on it. And that'll allow me to clean up all my connections for my grounds to my starter, which hopefully will get it cranking over smoother. Oh, that manifold's cracked there too. So both manifolds are cracked. Alright. But, you know, it's the start of a project. You figure out what all's wrong with it so that you can use it and it works for you. Alright, thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, leave us a comment below. Tell me what you think about the new acquisition to my plethora of things to service and maintain. It's going to be pretty handy for me for the projects we have to do. Actually, Austin has his mom's property he needs to do some cleanup on, so it'll probably get used up there as well. And then once we're using it for all the stuff we use it for, I'll probably just sell it because I won't need it anymore. But at least I won't have to pay rental fees for stuff. The Lord only knows how long while I'm doing this stuff. You guys have a great day. Stay safe. See you on the next one.